Hello and welcome to this special second variant proportion update video for this week. Today is Saturday, October 15th, 2022. Usually we do one of these a week, and we did do one back on Monday, but we need to do another one. Normally this would wait till next week, but this cannot wait. We have the addition of a few more subvariants, or perhaps maybe you want to call it variants. Some people are going to say they're just brand new variants, and I understand that, but we call it as it is. They're technically subvariants because they were subvariants of the Omicron family. And so we have to play it by the book here and call it what it is. But you can see here, the list here has gotten a little more crowded. You're seeing some names you have not seen before. So like we always do, we're going to start this off on the national level. Alrighty. First off, the first subvariant is BA.5, which is 67.9% of the cases. Then comes BA.4.6, which is 12.2% of the cases. Then you see the brand new BQ.1.1 subvariant, which is 5.7% of the cases. Then there is a BQ.1 subvariant, which is new, which is 5.7% of the cases. And then there's the BF.7, which is 5.3% of the cases. Then you see yet another new subvariant, BA.2.75.2, which is basically a branch off of the 2.75 variant, which is 1.4% of the cases. BA.2.75 is 1.3% of the cases. BA.4 is 0.6% of the cases. So you can see here, we suddenly went from no BQ.1.1, BQ.1, and BQ.75.2 to suddenly here it is. And it's actually been in the United States for several weeks now. The CDC, for some reason, decided not to add it till now. Why they waited so long, I honestly do not know. And as you can see here, it's growing relatively quickly. 5.7. We know 1.1, and you're going to see as we go along here, we know it's the reason why New York State is quickly starting to go up with hospitalizations. So it is concerning. It does appear to be immune evasive. Is it more severe? Not 100% sure, but if we look at the evidence, it's clearly the variant that's driving cases up in Europe and especially Germany. There's been reports saying that's the variant that's quickly rising in Germany. And, well, we ask, is it more severe? Well, Germany ICUs are quickly going up, and Germany hospitalizations are going up, and deaths have almost doubled in the past week. So you decide for yourself. Germany takes this pretty seriously. They have a high booster rate. They have a high mask wearing rate. So this is relatively concerning. Let's continue on here. Region 1, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. BA.5 is 71.1% of the cases. BA.4.6 is 12.5% of the cases. BF.7 is 6.5% of the cases. BQ.1.1 is 4% of the cases. BQ.1 is 3.1% of the cases. BA.2.75 is 1.5% of the cases. BA.2.75.2 is 0.7% of the cases. And the dwindling BA.4 is 0.5% of the cases. Next, Region 2, New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. Pay close attention to this one because the new subvariants BQ.1.1 and BQ.1 are really starting to pick up the pace here. BA.5 is 57.4% of the cases. BA.4.6 is 12.5% of the cases. BQ.1 is already 11.6% of the cases. BQ.1.1 is 8% of the cases. BF.7 is 5.9% of the cases. BA.2.75.2 is 2.3% of the cases. BA.2.75 is 1.9% of the cases. BA.4 is 0.4% of the cases. And as we know with New York State, look what's been going on here past several weeks since it has been introduced. Yeah, it's really starting to go up in the hospitalizations. So early indicators are it's either more immune evasive or possibly a combination of that and maybe it's causing more severe illness. The hospitalizations are clearly showing it. And look here in New York ICUs, they've been going up, which is concerning. Moving on to Region 3. Delaware, District of Columbia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia. Here it's not rising as much as New York State yet, but it is rising nonetheless. BA.5, 63.9% of the cases. BA.4.6, 14.7% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 7.5% of the cases. BF.7, 6.7% of the cases. BQ.1, 3.8%. BA 2.75.2, 1.8%, BA 2.75, 1%, and BA.4, just a 0.5%. Region 4, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. BA.5 is still 67.6% of the cases. BA.4.6 is 16.3% of the cases. BF.7 is 5.4%, BQ.1 is 4.9%, BQ.1.1 is 3.1%, BA 2.75.2 is 1.2%, BA 2.75 is 0.9%, and BA.4 is 0.6%. Region 5, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin. BA.5 is still 72% of the cases here, 4.6 is 9.9, BF.7 is 5.8, BQ.1 is 5.2, BQ.1.1 is 3.6, BA 2.75 is 1.7, BA 2.75.2 is 1.3%, and BA.4 is 0.5%. Region 6, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. BA.5 is 72% of the cases. BQ.1 is really taking off here. Wow, 11.5% of the cases. And interestingly enough, Louisiana has been seeing a big positivity spike on Walgreens. I'll show you that in a second. BA.4.6 is 8.8% of the cases. BF.7 is 3.7% of the cases. BA 2.75, 1.2% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 1.2% of the cases. BA 2.75.2, 0.8% of the cases. BA.4, 0.8% of the cases. Walgreens positivity. Look at this. Louisiana has been rising. Also, look at this. Alabama has been rising. Very mysterious, eh? Alright, moving on to Region 7, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. And if you remember, Region 7 has had the highest level of 4.6 subvariant, and that still is the case. BA.5, 67.8% of the cases. BA.4.6, 21.4%. BF.7, 5%. BQ.1, 3.1%. BA 2.75.2, 0.9%. BA.4, 0.6%. BA 2.75, 0.6%. Very interesting, the 2.75 variant is really struggling in this zone. And at this rate, I think in all the zones, 2.75 it's going to be another BA.4. It's not going to take over. These BQ variants are rapidly taking over. They're going to even overtake 4.6 as time goes on. I mean, it's just a rapid rise with these, as you're seeing here. But the West Coast, that's not so much the case. Region 8, Colorado, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming. BA.5, 76.2% of the cases. BQ.1, already in second place at 8.4% of the cases. BA.4.6, 7.2% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 3.3% of the cases. BF.7, 3.2% of the cases. BA.2.75, 0.8% of the cases. BA.4, 0.6% of the cases. And 2.75.2, 0.4% of the cases. Region 9, Arizona, California, Hawaii, Nevada, American Samoa, Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, and Federated States of Micronesia. I can never say that correctly. Apologies. BA.5, 77.1% of the cases. BQ.1, 5.2% of the cases. BA.4.6, 5.1% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 4.5% of the cases. BF.7, 3.9% of the cases. BA 2.75.2, 2.2% of the cases. BA 2.75, 1.6% of the cases. And BA BA.4, 0.5% of the cases. Finally, Region 10, Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. BA.5, 79.1% of the cases. BF.7, 6.5% of the cases. BA4.6, 5.8% of the cases. BQ.1, 3.8% of the cases. BA.2.75.2, 2.1% of the cases. BA.2.75, 1.3% of the cases. BQ.1.1, 0.8% of the cases, and BA.4, 0.5% of the cases. Alright, what are we witnessing here? BA.5 is still the dominant variant in the country, but that is quickly dropping now. The BQ.1 variants are going to overtake all other subvariants and rapidly rise, and eventually 2.75 is going nowhere. 4.6 was showing signs of possibly going to eventually take over. That's no longer going to be the case. BA.4 is almost gone, and BF.7 probably will not take over. These BQ.1 and BQ.1.1 variants are going to rule the roost. Now, mind you, there are other subvariants out there in the world. There's an XB something that's out there. Don't know anything about that yet, but eventually that is also going to enter the picture here in the United States. So we need to be very vigilant right now. We are seeing rapid increases in hospitalizations in New York State, where there is a high prevalence of this new subvariant. And it is deeply concerning, and we need to watch its progress. Alrighty, we will have another one of these updates next week. We'll probably switch these to Fridays now since we did 2 this week. And who knows, we might have to do another special one at some point if another new subvariant should enter the picture. Thanks for watching this video, and if you want to see more stuff like this, please hit like and subscribe down below, and stay safe, everyone.